Hello and welcome. Yeah, welcome to we're in that period of time whereas we've got Christmas just gone and New Year just about to arrive. So I thought, well, I'll do a little video and tell you what I'm going to be doing in 2024, all being well. And I say all being well, and that's because, as you know, things can change at almost any time. And especially when you've got things going off in your life, such as pretty much everybody has nowadays. So anyway, to cut a long story short, I've not been doing videos recently, and that's because I've been most of my time looking after Christine. And as you know, Christine, Crafty Chris, has been very poorly, so I've been looking after Crafty Chris. And Crafty Chris is hopefully, and I say hopefully, going into hospital very, very shortly. So she has got an appointment early January, and we'll see what happens from there onwards. She's got to have 2 operations, and both are quite serious. And yeah, so obviously thank you to everybody that's been asking about Christine. She is very, very ill, and we're just hoping and praying that things will be all right when she's had her operations. But yeah, we'll see. Well, as I say, we'll see how it goes. So right, one thing you've probably noticed, and that is this bus behind me here, this open top bus. Haven't finished it yet, and in fact it's it's adorned with a few just a few Christmas cards. So, and you might have spotted one there, just as a whimsical one, if you like. I get one every year, a Christmas card from a good friend of mine who deals in buses, and as you can see, it says on there, best bus around, and it says Merry Christmas on it, and it's going to France, that one. So yeah, so Carl, you know who you are. You send me one every year, so thank you very much. And he also puts a different bus on every year as well. So yeah. He actually got voted one year for the most boring Christmas card ever, but we won't speak about that one. Right, okay, well, I'm going to go bench down and I'm going to show you a few things, because as the title says, it's all wheels and wings, or all wings and all wheels for 2024. So what does that mean? Well, I'll show you what I'm going to be doing, hopefully, in 2024. And yeah, I could do with some encouragement. I'm not an expert or a specialist on anything, and so any information you can give me, which will help me towards my goal of doing these fantastic models, would be very, very helpful indeed. So thank you very much in advance. And as I say, I'm no expert on anything really, or I'm no specialist on anything neither. So anyway, let's go cameras down and have a look, shall we? And then we'll crack on with this instead of me yakking away. This is a recording, by the way, so if you're trying to comment to me, yeah, please do comment in the comment section. But it is a recording, so and it is being recorded on Friday night. And yeah, okay, so let's go cameras down. Okay, so on the bench I've got nothing at the minute, and so what am I going to show you then? Well, I've got this evening, I've got a little bit of unboxing to do for you, and I've got a little bit of show and tell of what I'm going to do as well. So where do I start? Okay, well, I'll start with this one. Quite some time ago, in 2015, in fact, Christine bought me as a present the Model Space D'Agostini at 132 scale build the Douglas DC3, of which this is pack 1. She bought me the whole pack, the whole lot. In other words, all 12 boxes, and I've had them stored away nice and safely, and I've been tempted to look at them lots of times, but I haven't. I've kept them, and so I thought, right, what am I going to do? I am going to build this in 2024. It's going to be absolutely awesome. Now, I've been following John's model making, and he's been doing Build the Lancaster, the old Hachette build, that is, the wooden one. And this is built in a similar vein to that. And so I've been looking on the website and everything, because the D'Agostini Model Space still have a website, a YouTube channel with all the instructions on, and then ScaleMates has an instructional channel as well with all the instructions on. So I've got lots of things I can do there. So let's just have a quick look inside box number 1. If I can get the box open, that is. So we'll have a quick look inside box number 1, see what it entails. So I know from the website that there is wood. So all this wood's got to be cut out of these formers. There's stringers in there that I've got to add as like tensioners. We do get some photo etch parts as well, and we get the lots of metal parts. So we get, like, for instance, in this one, we get the metal nose cone, which is there. I know it's difficult to see because it's shining on the plastic, but I don't want to open it and lose any bits right now. So, but I just want to tell you what's going to happen. So there is a propeller there, and the propeller is in scale with the model. So let's just have a quick look and see if we can get a quick measurement of that, and that'll be 4 inches from tip to tip, so right across there to there. And the model itself is going to be, I believe, 96 centimeters wide. Okay, so let me just have a look at my mat here. That's 23, so that's 60 centimeters. So if you want to look on your rulers where 96 centimeters is, I believe it's somewhere up here, 37 inches, 37.5 inches, I do believe, and that's how wide the wingspan's going to be. So yeah, quite a big model, quite a big model indeed. But it is clad with aluminium, or aluminum if you're in America. So it's clad with aluminium sheet, and the aluminium sheet's there in this pack. So bright aluminium. So, and you do cut that out into the shapes. You do get templates and everything that you can cut all them bits out of. And so it's clad in aluminium. It's got a wooden base. So it's got like a wooden fuselage, wooden wings and everything else, but you clad it then with the aluminium, and then you use a special tool that actually puts rivets into the aluminium and you do that as you go. And then several other things as well, like painting. You do paint the parts. Some of the parts want painting, the seats in there, for instance, and bits and pieces, and the propellers, and there's quite a few bits that want painting, which is great. This is going to be an absolutely fantastic model when it's built, and I don't actually know if it comes with a display stand or not. I don't think it does, but if anybody can tell me where I can get a display stand from for it, that would be very helpful. And if anybody has any helpful tips on me building this, that would also be very helpful as well. So thank you for that in advance. Anyway, I'm going to make a start on this next week, which will be January 2024, and I'm going to be doing a bit on this every week, but I'm not going to be filming it. I'm sorry about that, guys. I cannot do it with the pressure of live streaming, and I hope you'll forgive me for that, but it's just one of them things. My nerves won't cope with that at all, and that's because I think it's quite a complex model. It's not just a case of screwing it together and Bob's your uncle, it's done. It's a case of thinking where your stringers go, carefully cutting bits out, carefully shaping bits, carefully painting bits, etc., etc., and going through the instructions on the internet as well. So to do it live streaming would be, for me, impossible. And as I say, I'm not a specialist in anything, so there's no way I could do that live streaming. So what I will do is I will do catch-up videos on it. I'll do like every pack or something, and so that means there's 12 times that I'll do a catch up, because there is 12 packs and there's several stages to each pack. There's about 10 or 12 stages to each pack, I think. So what I will do is do a catch-up video on each pack at the end of each pack, and I'll show you what I've done, and I'll show you what there is to come in the following pack, so as best I can. And I'll do that as catch-up videos. So look out for the Douglas DC3 build, because I'll be doing separate videos for that. Okay, right, let's just pop this back in its box so it's nice and safe. As I say, that is going to be one fantastic build, and I want to get it done this year. So I want to complete it all this year. So it does mean a lot of work in advance and a lot of work behind the camera, but I'm looking forward to it enormously. And it is 1/32 scale as well. 1/32 scale is a scale that I'm going to go on about quite a bit tonight, and that's because another present that Christine bought me just over 2 years ago now, I think it was this Revell kit 1/32 scale Spitfire Mark II-A. That's the Supermarine Spitfire, and with it being the same scale as the DC3, I thought that would be, you know, it would sit nicely on a diorama or something, or even on a tabletop, or a display cabinet. Now we have got a couple of display cabinets, and we've got one that's full of buses at the minute, and we've got a couple of others that are glass display cabinets. And my idea is that I could actually put the DC3 on top of the cabinet, and perhaps this would fit inside the cabinet, depending on how they would sit. Anyway, I'm going to be building this as well. So in 2024, because after all, she did buy me this one. It is, I believe, yeah, it's a skill kit number 4. It says on the end of the box there somewhere. Skill kit number 4. Skill level number 4. So I can't see it being that bad to do, actually, and I'm looking forward to also painting, and I will be spray painting this with either the mobile one that Peter Webster bought me. Thank you very much for that, Peter Webster, or the one that I got from MJR Models, which is Mike Jolly. So I will be having a go at spray painting this and getting all the colours right and everything if I can, which does mean an awful lot of work, of course, you know, with the camouflage and all the rest of it. But once again, I'm looking forward to it, and I'm actually looking forward to getting this one finished as well. So it's all about wings and wheels then. So what about the Lancaster? Well, if you've noticed on my picture, not the one that's up in this top corner somewhere here, that one's a DC3. It's actually a picture I took of the DC3 that was at East Kirkby, the museum. But there's also a picture on the background here of a Lancaster bomber, which just happens to be Just Jane at East Kirkby, the famous Lancaster that was bought by the farmers. Well, as you know, I've got the HK Lancaster, the HK Models Lancaster, and it's the Dam Buster version. It's the plastic model kit, and it's in 1/32 scale. So again, it's going to go nicely with the Douglas, and nicely with the Spitfire, and nicely with the vehicles I've got as well. And I've still got the idea and the plan of building this model, the HK Lancaster model, and then putting it into a coffee table, and along with the other vehicles that I've been building. And I think you've seen some of the other vehicles that I've been building in 1/32, 1/35 scale. That will go with it. I've got the bomb trolley, and I've got the David Brown tractor, and I've got a Bedford refueler wagon, and I've got a Austin Tilley, and I've actually got another vehicle which I'm going to unbox in a minute. So the Lancaster, yeah, it's not the Border Models one. Unfortunately, the Border Models one would be about £650, and this was I bought this one 3 years ago now. I think it was 3 years ago now. I think it was. This one was less than half of that. So, but it is the same scale as the Border Models one. To me, this is ideal, and I'm not going to have £600 or £700 sitting in a cabinet, a coffee table cabinet that I might be afraid of, as I say. And to me, also, I'm not going to be able to look inside this one as much as what the Border Models one you would do, because that's obviously got more detail in as the Border Models one. So I'm very happy with what this is. I would have brought it down to show you, but it's in a massive box, and I just brought the instructions and the story of the Dam Busters 617 Squadron booklet that we actually got with the HK Models one. So these are the instructions. You get 2 lots of instructions with the HK Models one. You get the standard standard Lancaster bomber instructions, and then you get the Dam Buster bomber instructions as well. And that's because you're basically building a Lancaster, but you're building it to the Dam Busters, which is very, very different to the underneath, etc. And several things that were altered on it for bombing the dams, of course, when they bomb the dams. So, what's the difference? Well, there's only a few differences, really. The major difference, of course, is where the upkeep bomb goes underneath the Lancaster. And it looks like you do actually get an upkeep bomb with it as well. And you do get the mechanism that sets off the bomb that sits underneath the Lang. So that will be nice and handy. And it'll go on my diorama lovely. And I still want to do that. So I will be starting this this year as well. And I maybe not finish it this year, but I will be starting it. So I will be starting the HK Lang in 132 scale. Okay, so while we're on about the Lancaster, the Dam Busters Lancaster, if you like, there is a new group set up, and it's about the Hachette Lancaster. So those of you who don't know, Hachette, the Partwork company, they're producing a Lancaster in 132 scale, actually. So yeah, in the same scale as the HK, the Border, same scale as these. So 132 scale. They're producing a Dam Buster Lancaster that's on a diorama base, and the diorama base is of one of the dams that they actually bombed, and there's like a ripple sea effect, water effect, and then there's a dam, and it shows the Lancaster flying over it. So yeah, I've been invited to the Facebook group, and so I've accepted the invitation to the Facebook group. I will put a link in the description of this when I've edited this video to the Facebook group for the Hachette Lancaster. Whether I'm going to be doing that or not, I doubt very much, and that's because I've got enough on, and if my fortune changes when for instance, if the Eddie Stobart finishes, or what have you, then I may think about it. But at this present moment in time, I don't think I'm going to go for it. So, but I will be on the group. So, those of you who are building the Dam Busters Lancaster, I've got some pretty good. Some pretty good books here about Lancasters. So I've got lots and lots and lots of information. So Penny bought me this one, which is rather good. Tells us actually how to fly it. So yeah, Lancaster bomber pocket manual of 1941-45 from the Air Ministry. So Lancaster, and this is a massive thick book, and it's got everything in it, and it's signed by Arthur T. Harris, who was also known as Bomber Harris, and then in here it tells you all the story of the Lancaster right from day one, right to Operation Manor, which you might have heard about, where they actually sent supplies across to Holland, etc., and the Netherlands. So Operation Manor. So it tells you all about that. And this one is the number 2, so by the same people, Mike Garbutt and Brian Golding. So, and this shows you open drawings, plan view drawings of the Lancaster. Tells you what everything is inside, outside the Lancaster, and similarly on the back it's got a plan view of the Lancaster, and then all in between, of course, it tells you everything you need to know about the Lancaster bomber, and crashes, the takeoffs that didn't take off, the men, the women, and everybody else that was involved in the Lancaster bomber. So the bombs that they carried, etc., etc., etc. And then this lovely magazine was produced. It's actually a quite thickened magazine. It's produced by Mike Spick, and this again goes into the Lancasters in great detail and tells you all about the things that happened, the things that didn't happen, all the squadrons, where they was from, all the air bases, etc., etc., etc. And so I have got a vast, and that's probably about half the amount of information I have on Lancasters. So, as you all know, I am a bit of a Lancaholic. So I actually belong to a little group of people who raise money each year on we don't raise an awful lot, but we try. We raise a little bit of money for Just Jane, the Lancaster that's at East Kirkby, the one that's not flying at the moment, but the one that's hopefully going to fly in the very near future. So yeah, I am Lancaster mad, and so is Christine. So right, okay, quickly now, let me take you on to a few bits I got for Christmas. So a few bits I got for Christmas then. I'll get my camera to come right. Come on, camera. I have to shock it into coming right, if it will. I don't know whether it will, it won't. So it don't like the colours. So I got some glue, some Contacted Professional. I got some nice new tweezers, and I got some more glue, some Loctite wood glue, dries clear and weatherproof. I also got I've got some super glue and Loctite super glue Precision Max, because I wanted some absolutely strong glue. Then I got one of these, and if I can just get it out. Okay, I got one of these things. So this is a plain stand. So okay, what does it do? Well, your fuselage would go across there, and your wings would go across there, and these got nice soft pads on here and here and here and here, and you can alter the size of it, either wider, longer, shorter, up and down, etc., etc. So I got one of these off the internet, and it was from eBay in actual fact, and it was very, very reasonably priced. If you're good at 3D printing, you could probably print one, but then again you would need it obviously in the nuts and bolts and to fit them all in properly and all the rest of it. So but for the price it was, I think it was about £26. It was well worth it. So I'm going to be using this obviously for the Spitfire there, the Douglas DC-3, and I will be using it obviously for the HK Lancaster. So yeah, it's going to come in very, very useful indeed, because it can take up to 124 scale, so it can do 132 and it can do 148, I believe, as well. So there's 3 scales, but if you're doing a large plane such as a Lancastrian 176, 172, that would fit it as well. Okay, because you can alter these up and down or twist them round to make them nice and short, whatever. So it can still be very helpful if you're building a plane of any description. Okay, so I got one of them, which was really nice. And these are the tools you get for the DC3, which isn't a lot at the minute. Yeah, we've got like an X-Acto knife, a craft knife, a steel rule, and then you've actually got a widget in here with, and then there's a wheel that you can't see that's under the ruler here, and a nut and bolt, and you can put the wheel in there, and that's for making the rivets. So I will be using that, and that's what I'll be using of this in here as well, which is why I got these as a Christmas present, just a few bits and pieces to help me with the DC3, and we'll be hopefully getting cracked on with the DC3. Okay, so unboxing. Well, this arrived today, and yeah, I couldn't resist it. It was just one of them things that I've purchased. I don't know whether I've done right or wrong, but I wanted another vehicle to go with the DC3. So I thought, right, I'll see what's around, and I purchased this. It was very, very reasonable, and I'm hoping that it's going to be all right, but I'm doing a bit of a live unboxing for you guys. You might be able to tell me if it's any good or no good, those of you who do models. And what I can tell you is, get it out of the packet. So, oh, come on. Has to be He-Man to get it out of the box. So, right, put that on there. Sorry about the unwrapping noise and all that, legends and gents. Right. Wrapped it up really tightly, but it just proves to you guys that I'm doing it live. I've obviously not been in it, and I'm just hoping that it's going to be okay. So what is it you've bought then? If I can hear you all say. Well, it is 132 scale, so it will go with my planes, all being well. Let's put that down there, shall we? Yeah, it will go with my planes, all being well. And as I say, it was very, very cheap as well. So I bought a vintage kit of a car, and I'm hoping that it's going to be okay. I've read a lot about Airfix recently and the vintage kits and how bad they are at putting together and all the rest of it, and I just wanted to have a look to see if I could actually do something with this. So, and I'm sort of thinking that it might go with this 132 Spitfire. I don't think it'll go with the DC3, but it could go with the Lanc as well. So, what did I buy? Well, I bought some VIP transport from Airfix. It's the 32nd scale, and it's Monty's Humber. So I don't know that it's shining on the camera a bit there. So yeah, Monty's Humber car. Now, we're not strictly speaking that it'll be right to go with a Spitfire, because Monty was, after all said and done, he was more artillery and what have you. So, but it doesn't have to be Monty, does it? So it's, and at the end of the day, it's my model, and I'll put whichever car I like to with it. So, more curiosity than anything else to see how this has gone together. And yeah, it's plastic, obviously, and it's pre-coloured, and it looks like some of it's been taken off the sprue. So I'll have to have a sprue count with it, but I can tell by the feel of the plastic that it feels actually really nice. So I'm quite surprised at that. I've obviously got a letter in there. I've got the original decals and the original instructions. So yeah, I so long as it's all there, I'll be well happy. So there we are. That's what I'm going to be building very shortly to go with hopefully the Spitfire. It's probably the oldest Airfix kit that I've ever owned, because I am fairly new to plastic model kits, I must admit. I don't know whether it actually says the date on here or not. I don't think it does, but I'm pretty sure somebody in the chat might be able to tell me what sort of date it came out. It's a code number 05501-3. So yeah, and it's obviously before the days of Airfix flying leaflets and what do you call it. So yeah, it's a very, very old vintage kit, and as I say, I'm looking forward to building it. It's a Humber car and Monty's car, but it, as I say, it doesn't have to be Monty's car when I build it for the Spitfire. So, and I think it'll look nice sat next to that with, well, it'll have Monty in it, but it might not be Monty. It might be somebody impersonating him, getting ready to go and jump in the Spitfire and make his way to the artillery front or something. I don't know. Anyway, that's what I'm going to be doing. So that's my little unboxing, my little show and tell of what I'm doing 2024. Yes, I've got that Routemaster up there to finish, the open top one. Winnie the Routemaster I've actually put away, and I've put all the bits and pieces away with it, and until I get some of these out the way, then I'll make a start on that. But obviously I've got like a year's work involved here, and I've got enough to keep me challenged as it was. I've got the Eddie Stobart to finish. Now we're up to issue, I think it's 106, 7, 8 or something like that now. So, and I think I've got a couple more issues to do before I actually put the cab on, even though I've been working backwards on myself and I've put the trailer bits together. Christine's Eddie Stobart has got to be restarted again, and she says she wants to restart that. I think what she might do is restart that with my help, and just produce a video like this is produced video, and then we have the Titanic, of course, and the Titanic will be put away until this lot is definitely out of the way, and because we don't want lots of other bits and pieces out all over the place. But that's how I like to build, is behind all the time as well. So I don't like to build too far in front, and as you know, I'm just a stickler in my old ways. I just like to build well behind and not necessarily get anything out at first, because it's not well, I can't do it. I can't do stuff like that. So I leave that to you professional guys out there to get all these new part works out and everything, which you're doing a darn good job about as well. So okay, so let me come back to camera. I'll have a slurp of my tea. Okay, so settings. Come on, camera, facing camera. Okay, I'm actually watching somebody else on the net tonight as well, so I want to quickly do this and sign off and go back to what I was watching. So anyway, thank you ever so much for watching tonight. I hope it's been useful to you of what we have and what we haven't been doing. I've been very vague on Christine. I know, I'm sorry about that, but it is intensely personal over what is wrong with Christine. There's only a few people that are very, very close to us that actually know, and that's rightly so as well. I think that's, I should keep it sort of private-ish. And but what I can tell you is what I've told you is 100% the truth. I won't tell you any lies or anything. No need to do that. So, right. Okay, I'm going to go now, and I'm going to say thank you very much for viewing. please leave me with a nice good thumbs up. And yeah, watch out for all these bits and pieces coming in the near future. And please also keep supporting our other channels as well, like the MCC UK, for instance, and the Bedford channel, and which there'll be more of during the 2024. And yeah, so but all this will be added extra, of course. Anyway, I'm going to sign off now, and I'm going to say good night, take care, and have a lovely rest of the Christmas time period, and have a lovely new year too. And I wish you all the best now for health, happiness, and wealth for 2024. Take care now, and we will see you very, very soon. So good night from me. Bye now.